Vijay Yadav, thank you so much for coming on to the Data Strategy Show. 66 questions, Data Leaders Unplugged. Vijay, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Samir. So nice to be here and talking to you.
Yeah, great to have you. Now, Vijay, just quickly tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, Samir. So, I was born in India and grew up to my master's days. And then right after that, I moved to States. That was more than 30 plus years ago.
Wow.
And I did my master's in management from University of Massachusetts, Amherst. I started career in computer science. That is my background. And basically developing a software solutions for pharmaceutical industry.
Great.
In different sales and marketing organization. So I started my career with a heavy tech, computer science, maybe up to 7-8 years. And then I got a little bit bored from that. I said, I want to do something different. So even in the software role that I had, I was able to develop some of the very cutting edge solution, not AI ML, but heavy software, data intensive, solutions, especially in commercial sales and marketing organization. I got bored. And then I said, I want to try something different. So I took a role in more like in compliance.
Okay.
Yeah, that is very different.
Yes, it is. Extremely different.
Yeah, it's very different. And I did that. I think it played out for me really well. And the reason the company wanted me to take that role was I was understanding the regulated industry, pharmaceutical. Someone who understands the technology, because at the end of the day, when you're applying technology, so how do you apply the compliance part of that?
Of course. And it's extremely important for many organizations, but pharma is, by far huge in terms of compliance. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And then I got bored with that too.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, I know. And the compliance is, oh my God, this is not.
Yeah.
And then after the compliance, I did some business process management. So one of the curiosity I had, and I did some research on that in my time, and that's where I opened up more like a data-driven kind of thinking.
Right.
So think about a process. Anytime we define a process, design a process, there are 20 people sitting in the room, and you basically talk to the people, hey, let's map out the process. Everybody's agreed. You go and implement the process. The next day you're hearing the complaint.
Yep.
I said, who the heck designed this process, right? I said, wait a minute. We just talked. There were 20 people. All the experts were there. We designed it, and the process failed. Everybody's complaining. So what is happening? So what my curiosity was, can I understand the process, why it is broken? Can I capture the data behind it and really understand the data behind it? And if there's a bottleneck in the process as to what is making it slow, what is people doing that right? So I did some really good research for that. I won the Innovation Award when I was.
Oh, wow.
That is something very different ideas, right? To do that. And after that, I think, I think this is good. Business process management, process excellence, I'm really good. I got bored with that as well, right? And I'm that kind of person. I'm always looking for something
new. Yeah.
Hardly. And after that, I think I want to be moving into the whole AI ML space. And what had happened in my scenario, everything I had done before, it played into my strength.
Right.
Think about a strong software engineering, computer science background. Think about the compliance. Because now when I'm AI ML, I can really look at the lens from a compliance point of view.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
And look at the business process management, the process excellence.
Yep.
And even that played really, really well. And it gave me a very strong business domain knowledge. So I was able to work in different business functions, really.
Great.
And then everything came to my play, really. And I got into this field maybe around 8+ years ago. Very heavy into that. Currently, I'm at Merck. I am leading data science team within manufacturing division, and really doing some great work. And now I don't think I can move beyond AI ML. I'm not
right, because you're never going to get bored of it, are you, Vijay?
I cannot get bored. So I think I'm really enjoying my journey.
Wonderful.
But it has been a very different types of journey.
Yeah, sure. Well, look, Vijay, that's wonderful to know and great to get a little bit of background about you. Right. So we are now going to go straight into those questions, which you've been a little bit worried about, but there's nothing to be worried about. Okay, tell me, here we go. Vijay, what's your wake-up ritual?
My wake-up ritual, the first thing I wake up in the morning, I have my baby dog, Maggie.
Okay.
And when I wake up, I want to see her and take her out first, right? I cannot miss a single day. I cannot do that.
Fantastic.
On my bed, I directly go to her. She sleeps in the crate. So I go and take her out. And basically after that, I come back, we feed her. And then me and my wife, we're empty nesters. So
lucky you.
That's right. Yeah, and indeed. And so we have a cup of tea every day. We cannot miss it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have, more like a chai style and sometimes green tea. And that's where basically our day begins. And then after that, I think by the time I'm kind of ready to work, there are some early morning meetings, and then my work is done.
And then you take off. Wonderful, wonderful. What would you say is your biggest strength?
Biggest strength. One thing I'm just thinking. So I would say perseverance. I am, frankly speaking, to me, and if I decide something, this is good, and I'm always thinking. I mean, I cannot tell you, my mind is 24 hours.
Always racing. Oh my goodness.
Racing actually do that. Perseverance. So for me, if I believe in something that this has to happen, I'm not living that easy.
Sure.
Even at my work, in my personal life, if I determine I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I want to get to the end, whether I pass or fail.
Yeah, but you're going to stick with it.
Right. I'm stick with that. And at the moment I say, you know what, I succeeded, I said I failed.
Yeah.
But I don't give up. There's a good roadblock, whoever might come my way. And there's so many examples. I've been thrown out of the room actually with someone, and that person became my best friend.
Okay.
After that. So I say, hey, you threw me this time, but I'm coming back. And
great.
Would be a good
well, good for you. Good for you. What a wonderful way to be, just to have your own confidence. And I like that perseverance. So tell me, what's the biggest learning experience you've had?
Biggest learning experience. Oh my goodness. I would say, biggest learning for me is people can make you successful, or they can make or break you.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, very true.
And I cannot tell you how important it has been. That people have played a role in my life as mentors and people who have worked for me equally. So to me, if you take care of the people, you will succeed, and rest of things fall in place.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Data is no exception.
Yep.
Data is no exception. Yep. So to me, top priority the people.
People.
That, and I have experienced really, really well.
Excellent, excellent. Listen, I know your wake up ritual is, seeing your dog and going for a walk and having the tea. But what would you say is your favorite time of day? Is that the favorite time of day when you go out with Maggie, or are there other parts of the day that drive you?
I think that's a very, when I look at Maggie, right? I mean, she's 2.5-year-old. She's well trained. She's more like a human.
Okay.
And when you somebody do that, and she looks at me, and I feel like she's smiling at me.
You haven't got your children there. That's what it is.
I guess that's what it is. But that's definitely something, a good beginning. But I think other piece of work is I'm really excited for the work itself. I'm looking forward to a day that, okay, what's different today? And what is happening? And we can talk a lot more on that. Hopefully some of the questions will come in that space.
Sure.
For me,
sure.
I want to be doing things that nobody has attempted before. So I'm not going the same path. What is happening? I want to try something different, something new, almost every day, right? And I have succeeded in majority of the cases, but I failed in cases as well. So looking forward to something doing different. Learning is a part of me, so me, if I don't learn today, then I'm almost obsolete by a day tomorrow.
Wow. Wow.
So, so I think for me, learning is always part of me almost every day.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
Is there a particular vice that you could give up? Do you have any vices that you think, I got to get rid of it? You know, people are coffee drinkers, people are, you know, something that you would give up?
You know, one thing that I'm trying, but I'm not able to give up is being on in the phone.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And especially in the early morning and the late night. So in the daytime, I'm busy. I don't check that often.
Right.
Sometime when I get a break in between. But in the morning also, so when I wake up in the morning before I see Maggie, I check my phone.
Straight to your phone. You know, yeah. I think that's a really big issue for many people. My wife has banned phones from the bedroom. There are no phones.
Somebody listening in my room here, so at least I'm
ban them from the bedroom.
Oh my God.
So is there anything that makes you angry?
Makes me angry. Angry is a strong word, I would say. But one thing I can, and it's more like on the personal side, I think I might be annoyed and peeved about one thing. It's very important to me is if I make a call and I write an email to someone and I don't get a response.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You can't believe how I said, how dare you do it? Now I have got better though.
Right.
Then I see that, listen, people are busy and just, maybe I'm not important in their list, right?
Yeah.
On that day.
But you think what you're asking them is important and you need instant gratification.
That's right.
Yeah.
To do that. And I think I could be and especially on the personal note. And I was reading one of the books actually, and I wrote a LinkedIn post yesterday about Ben Horowitz's book actually. One of the comment he made, the culture is made of small things, not big things.
True.
And I was able to relate that. And he gave examples where he said that if you give a phone call to somebody, is that person getting back to you 1 hour, 1 day, 2 days, or never back? Right? If the person never calls back, that's bad culture. It just doesn't work, right?
Right.
Think of that nature. So I think I am very particular about that. And I'm very particular about if somebody is making the call asking me, I try to be, responsible. Now, in certain cases, if I think that's not important for me, I'm not the right person.
Sure.
I don't have time to respond. But I think one thing I always take people is that, if I'm making, you're important part of me. And I talked about earlier, people, you're important to my success. And I've come and contribute to you as well.
Yeah.
We make you successful as well. That's the reason I'm reaching out.
Yeah.
Don't hear back. So I would say not angry. I might get annoyed.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the best compliment you've ever received?
Best compliment I ever received. There are one thing I always is coming to my mind is your manager, your boss. I think when something comes from your manager and boss, that is the testament of your capability is somebody. There are not that many managers that will basically praise you. And,
sure.
One of my managers wrote to me. He said, "I am learning a lot from you." I said, this is the first time a manager has come to me and told me that I'm learning from you a lot.
Yeah.
And I have learned from that person a lot as well.
Fantastic.
To do that. So I would say that's the best compliment coming from a very senior manager that, coming in, especially in AI space and ML and some of my in data space. I shared my vision. I said, this is so phenomenal.
Yeah.
So much to learn. So I would say that's the best.
Okay. Perfect. And what's a cause that is important to you?
Let me think. We'll come back to it.
Well, that's fine. What makes you smile the most?
What makes you smile the most? I talked about earlier, I'm being perseverance.
Mm-hmm.
I get to the finish line.
Yep.
I
You
say,
got
you
a
know,
big beaming smile.
I told myself I'll succeed. And
Yeah.
here I,
Yeah.
you know.
Fantastic. Nice. Do you have a secret talent?
Oh, secret talent. Oh, secret talent. So the one thing I can tell you that if I'm not, and some people might know it, if they might read my LinkedIn profile and those know me personally, I'm big into, fusion cuisine.
Oh, very good. Okay. And what kind of
I,
fusion? What kind of? Yeah.
Also, that's what I experiment. So anytime I go to visit a country, I
Yeah.
have done in 13, 14 countries.
Yeah.
I think very interesting to me is understanding ingredient and their food, going with the locals, and I test it and see if that particular flavor that's coming in, is that, and can I bring it, let's say, mix with the Indian type of.
Yeah. Wonderful. So what is your best mix or your favorite mix?
So I had the Mexican, Caribbean, and Indian.
Oh wow, that's all spicy, which is
all is spicy.
All spicy. But and is it chicken based or is it vegetarian based? What is the?
It's more chicken based.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have some, and by the way, so I have this is my signature stuff. I have won some local competition in grilling.
Oh wow! So it really is a secret. Well, you should do it more. More people should know about it. Tell me, if you weren't doing what you're doing now in the AI space, in the ML space, what would you be doing?
One of my thing, I'm very much in, I want to play a, musical instrument.
Right. Okay.
And I'm big in keyboard. I have 2 keyboards in my house.
Wow, good for you.
And I have 2 tabla in my house.
Excellent.
I never got good at playing either of them.
Either of them. Life just took you away, right?
It took me away.
Well, you're empty nesters now. You should be on those tablas and on the keyboards.
Yeah, so think about it. So I'm AI guy. I'm always rushing to do something different. I'm always busy. And if I don't give a time back to my empty nester partner, then that's a problem, right?
Maybe your empty nest partner can join in.
I think she's a good singer.
Oh, well, so there you go. Perfect. You've got a husband and wife band right there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's a good one. But it's hard though. Musical instrument, I tell you that. I don't know, when I look at people playing, wow, that is so easy for you.
Yeah, I agree. What are the 3 things that you can't live without?
Oh, 3 things you can't live without.
And if your partner's in the room, remember.
No, I said that comes right at the top of the list, right? She's amazing, actually, lady, and she sings all the time.
Yeah.
While in the house, so
wonderful.
I listen live music, right? To do that. I would say the family.
Yeah.
1 son and 1 daughter. I think they are part of my journey in life.
Of course.
To do that, and maybe the phone. This phone thing.
My goodness, this thing is going to be wedded. It's going to be kind of sewn into you in the future, right?
Yeah, and sometime I tell my wife I want to go to Himalayas to get some peace. Cannot live a day.
No, you're going to have to go to some ashram somewhere. Abandon everything, Yeah,
that's right. I said, try it. You can survive 1 day. Come back to me, and I'll lose it.
So tell me, what is most important to you in life?
What's important to me in life? I think family, right?
Yeah.
Today, and sometimes I'm very much into, I'm trying to do things, and I go back, and somebody came to me, one of my managers said, Vijay, you got to slow it down.
Okay.
I think, listen, the world is not going anywhere. It's not falling.
Yeah.
It's falling. Take yourself, time. And I was trying to tell her that here are some of the things that we're doing. And it's like I'm trying to boil the ocean.
Right.
And
yeah.
So she said, I know you're doing already great job. This is, to me, you're already excelling, outperforming. now you're going beyond that. I said, take your time, spend some time with your family, go on vacation, do something.
Yep.
I think the family is definitely very important for me.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. What's the most adventurous thing you've done in your life?
Adventurous thing in my life. Just thinking, the one I have done a very dangerous one where I was about to lose my life.
You were going to really? Well, what was that?
And one was about very thrilling experience. For me and the whole family, we go every year a different country.
Right.
A trip.
Yeah.
And we were in St. Kitts.
Oh yes, in the Caribbean. Yeah.
And we had planned a canoe trip.
Right.
Into the sea water.
Okay.
And we didn't think about the bad weather. We had a guide, and me and my wife was in one canoe.
Right.
And my son and my daughter were in a different canoe. And we started and all of a sudden the wind came in.
Oh my goodness.
And we were kind of, I said, we got scared to start raining.
Oh.
And our guide was a little far away while we were doing it.
Right.
And the wind came in. We were lucky the wind direction was going towards the shore.
Sure. Lucky. Very lucky.
Now we go there and the wind was so fast.
Yeah.
Basically, there was a lot of rocks, big rocks.
Oh, okay.
And on the algae, a lot of algae, and this thing just went and hit that.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And we basically capsized the canoe. And we both are in water.
Yeah.
We're trying to come out, and we cannot come out of the canoe to do that. So I can swim. I'm a swimmer.
Yes.
My wife is not.
Right.
And I said, oh my goodness, and I can read her face. She said, I am going to die. Please take care of me.
No way. Oh my gosh.
My kids were already gone and they finished. They knew that the wind was there. They sailed it through and they were there. They're looking far away. And I said, somehow, since I know swimming, I grabbed my wife multiple times.
Yeah.
Tried to pull her out, but the wave comes in and pushes her back again in the water.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to go on top of the rock, but that is so much slippery.
So slippery. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I just cannot hold the rock even. And the boat is there. We're trying to do it. Anyway, we just survived.
Wow. Well,
it is the worst
good that you were a swimmer and good that you persevered. You know, and you didn't give up.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
And my wife says that, and she always remembers that. Anytime she explains to me, I say, hey, listen, I saved your life.
Saved you. Oh my goodness. Well, look, this next question actually is going to be good because how would you define yourself in 3 words?
How would I describe? So perseverance is
one of them.
The kind of person can do that. I am people oriented, right? I am loyal, in the sense that loyalty to a company and department, to the people.
Yep.
My team, I'm very loyal.
Yep.
To them actually, and we talked about earlier to do that, right? So loyalty is part of my that. I think it may be good and bad either way, right? It can be taken as sometimes granted, right? Loyalty, the other person feels like maybe I'm too important.
Sure.
Be loyal, right?
Sure.
But I think for the most part, I think it played in my
awesome.
Loyal.
So
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, those are 3: perseverance, loyal, and what was the
I would say first 3, and I would say, I'm kind of love fun, having fun.
Yeah, perfect. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the biggest surprise you've had this year?
Biggest surprise, it is a big one actually. And and it happens to be this year. So I think this question is very easy for me to answer. My daughter got married this year.
Okay.
So I don't look that old.
No, you don't.
But I got married very early in my career. I was in college when I got married. I was hardly a major at the time when I got married. So definitely we had a kid's early life. So she got married this year. It was a destination wedding.
Oh wow. And where was that?
Grand Cayman Island.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So it is such a, I graduated to be called, father-in-law, which
Yes.
sounds good to me.
Yes.
But that's one of the milestones in my life.
Great. Well, congratulations. The next thing will be grandkids. Well, let's not go there.
Oh my God, no, that I'm not.
You might not be ready for that.
I know.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Best piece of advice I've ever received. I think I've been advised that when you interact with people, and this is one of my managers said that, don't assume what other person is thinking.
Yeah, very
Don't
good advice.
Do that.
Yeah,
so really, if somebody is saying something, you don't assume that is what they meant. And it has happened. And I think the reason that advice was given to me in a situation where someone was saying something every time to me, and I said, wow, this person experienced, how can you say that? And I advise that, listen, don't assume. And things from this, my manager, my boss, so go and talk to that person first before you. And I cannot tell you how powerful that advice was. I talked to this person that, hey, I have been listening from you this thing for so many times, the way you say things, the way you come across to me. And she said, oh my God, Vijay, I never thought about that's how you're going to read it. Right. Okay. And I said, yeah, that's how it came along. I said, and that person after that, she said, thank you so much for, giving me the feedback. Nobody ever came to me. I'm always like that. You give me the feedback. I'm going to be very mindful. Great. I can see your point of view as to why you are saying, why you're thinking. I can see people take it. He is one of the best friends. Fantastic. That's good. Yeah. Well, listening is a very key quality of people, and really understanding the other person, almost getting in their shoes is important. What are the 3 words that would describe living in the US? 3 words. Living in the US. Yeah. So I think, first of all, I don't think I can live anywhere other than US. Okay. This is the best place. And what I really enjoy is, in this place, I think people are valued for their talent. Right. So the respect you get, what you bring to the table. Hearing in other countries, and the country I've in India and other places, here is a story, so many books I've read. I think that's really gives me a freedom really to go back and dream something different than you just had. Whatever, right? To do that, right? So that's definitely one thing. Yep. I like the, I've lived most of the Northeast side. I try to be in South, and I can tell you that North is the best. Anybody listening here, please don't mind. I have been the West Coast, I've been South, I have been almost all part of. Yep. This is the place. I just enjoy the kind of weather in US. Yeah. Get all 3 weather. I like the change in weather. So I'm in Pennsylvania, right? So I have all 3 seasons. Yep. Equal amount almost. Which is really nice. You don't want to be a weather which is one type every time, right? Yeah. So the weather is something that I really enjoy being in US. Wonderful. And yeah, so that's true, right? Having that, and in general, actually, there's so much places to visit in US and have fun. Beaches are really, really good. So. I think overall, at a very personal level, workplace, place for fun, I really like it. Yeah. Great. You talked about music earlier on. Do you have a favorite artist, favorite type of music? Is there something that is on your playlist that's always being played? So sitar is something I'm very fond of. Okay. And that is a very soothing music. And my daughter plays sitar. Oh, fantastic. So we have and Ravi Shankar. is one of the legendary.
Yes,
You know,
he is.
so,
Yeah.
so I love to listen to that track anytime.
Mm-hmm.
To do that. And especially I can relate it because somebody's playing in my household that often. That's something I can always
default to. It's a wonderful instrument actually, and I do like I like it when you listen to that, like the morning ragas, and that's it's
morning
beautiful.
ragas,
yeah. And equally I think some of Ananda Shankar is very cool as well.
Right. Yes, indeed.
Some great. Anyway, so what are the 3 things at the top of your bucket list?
Top of the bucket list, yeah, I should have thought. So one thing, we have rituals in our family that we want to travel country, a separate country, a different place that we have not been to.
Sure. Yep.
And first thing, we want to go and cover all the continents. So we want to at least visit one country in every continent.
Yep.
So we have been to Australia, North America, Europe, Middle East, and Australia, I told you, and
Africa
South as well. Africa and South America. These are the ones in our bucket list.
Fantastic. You must do it. I mean, each of those continents are extremely different, north to south, and you've really got to see it. Coastal, to inland is totally different in both. I mean, I've been lucky to have been born in Africa, but and traveled quite extensively there. I've done the same in South America, but not to every country in South America. But I think you really do need to do Africa next, I would say.
Yeah, I think we're planning to have one, and maybe I can take your advice.
Absolutely. I'd be delighted to do that. Yeah. What book did you most recently finish? I know you talked about a book yesterday, but you're still reading that, right?
I'm still reading it.
Yeah.
And it's such a great
what
book.
did you finish before that one?
There's a book, Outliers.
Oh yes, by Malcolm Gladwell.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the one I just finished prior to that.
Yeah.
There are a couple more books that I'm trying to read, but the time is really
yep.
And I talked to you earlier because there's 24 hours in a day.
Yes.
And you're almost competing against every minute that you got.
Yep.
And somebody on Kate, right?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
He said the book number 40th. I said,
yes, she is. Time? Yeah, I think her goal is 60 books this year.
Oh my God. Yeah. And what do you do, Kate? And how do you do it? So I'm not a big book reader because I don't get time.
Sure.
I'm not in fiction kind of thing. I want to read real thing. For me, fiction is okay. I got a lot of fiction in my life.
If you could go back in time, what would you tell your 16-year-old self?
Ooh, 16-year self. Oh my God, this is a difficult 16-year-old self.
Remember what you were like at 16. That crazy Vijay running around.
Yeah,
or maybe you weren't.
I know. I would say, don't be too serious, kid. I was very studious. I cannot tell you, how many hours I spend on studying.
Wow. Okay.
Nobody would basically see me.
Yeah.
They have the light. I never went to sleep before 2 o'clock.
My goodness.
Every day, at least in my 10 years of my career, when I was doing bachelor's and master's, it's pretty bad. If I go back, I said, dude, don't take that life serious. Even and the reason I was because I wanted to be, what in India they call first class.
Right. Okay.
They grade that way. I say, don't get first class, it's okay.
Yeah.
Enjoy the life.
There's more important things in life, yeah.
That's right. They're important. And sometimes you feel like, you lost your, childhood.
Yeah. No, I can imagine. If you could switch lives with one person for a day, who would it be?
Ooh, one person in a day. Who would be that? Oh, I can come back to it.
Sure.
Let me get through.
No problem. What's the
Because
one?
the reason I'm taking time is that I want to making sure that whoever I pick up.
Yeah. Don't worry. Don't worry.
That person has no fault.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, okay. Well, I leave it to you. It's your response. What's the one thing you've always wanted to try?
I wanted to start a business.
Ah, okay.
And
And you never did.
And I never did. And my wife says, get the hell out. We want to have, what do you need? And I just say that, something I want, more like a legacy. And I know you are a big, entrepreneur yourself, right? To do that. Who knows? In my household, we have so many ideas.
Great.
We are idea machines out here.
Well, you should turn one of those or two of those or however many of those ideas, because it doesn't matter because you've got perseverance, right? So you will try it, get to the end. If it fails, there's another idea. If it doesn't get there, there's another idea. So there's wonderful things.
So funny you say that. My wife laughs at me every time I come with a new idea. He says, hey, idea number 99. What happened to
you should have it in your book, your idea book.
Yeah.
Is there what would you say is the most ridiculous fact that you know?
Ridiculous fact that you know.
Yeah. I mean, you're a data person. Come on, you should know some facts that are ridiculous. If you don't worry.
Yeah, ridiculous fact that I would say necessarily data doesn't tell everything.
Yep. Okay. If you could resurrect one person from history and put them in the world today, who would it be?
I would say Vivekanand.
And for those people who don't know, why would you put him back into the world? Why would you place him back?
If you think about a pure human, right, by spirit, by act, by thinking, intelligence, how do you articulate, how you convey your ideas?
Yep.
World. How can you mesmerize people?
Yep.
With your ideas? And these are pure intelligent ideas to do that, right? So I would say, people like Vivekanand would make a huge difference to this world.
Right. Fantastic. I like that. If you weren't living in the US, where would you be living?
Where would be living? Oh, my goodness. So if listeners are listening and if they're in different country and if I don't name their country.
No, there's no one's going to come after you if you don't say their country, Vijay.
And now you are in UK.
Well, I'm in Europe at the moment. I will be back
Europe,
in the UK.
Yeah, Europe in the moment I could do that. If I don't live in, I would say one of the things that I found in India, even I have not been to many places in India. I think the culture is so rich. Yeah. Over there, and I'm not many part of India. Actually. So I came out of college straight to US. Okay. I've not been to Mumbai even. Really? Even I've been to Bombay. But look at that. So I think if I don't live there, I find a place. There are some places actually I can live there. Other places I found Europe, Spain. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Is another place. Beautiful. Yeah. Found a really, really different place. If you want to have a fun in a life, yep, is the place. Oh, Spain is good for that. Yeah. Okay, let's carry on. If you could offer one piece of advice to upcoming data leaders, what would it be? Data leader, I think you have, business is what you're going after. If you're going behind the technology, you are not go far. Yep. You're going to drive the value maybe 10%. And you want to be a business partner. I would say that, one of the strengths that plays for me is there are mostly leaders, either technology side, yep, technology focused, there might be people business, but not technology, but there are very limited number of people who are good at both actually.
No, you're absolutely right. Very few.
So I think advice is that if you are a data leader, and I'm writing an article on this.
Okay.
Where is your business? If you can imagine, you are driving a digital transformation bus, and a lot of people are sitting in there. You're going to the journey.
Yep.
And who's sitting where? Make sure that you are making your business sit on the driver's seat.
Yep. Yep.
Rather than their trunk.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah.
So I think
good analogy.
having a business, being an ally, very heavy focused is successful.
Business focused.
That's right.
And I guess that comes with a number of understanding of being commercial as well, you know, because one needs to have that lens as if you're going to help the business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. I think so. When I say business, I'm talking about the business outcomes, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So think about as a data leader, what is my metrics to success? Not that I finish the work, not that I develop a product. My metrics for success is how much I deliver for the company.
Correct.
And to me, one thing I always tell, if I cannot see the value, no matter how much money you're throwing and giving that project to me, I'm not taking it.
Sure.
Because I cannot, at the end, if I burn $5 million, if I cannot deliver more than $5 million, I failed. Company, of course, didn't get the value. Yeah. Pretty bad for me. And I don't want something bad for me, right? To do.
Excellent. I love that advice, Vijay. I love it. I think that should be stamped on every single data leader's eyelids. Honestly, I think that should be. What was the best lesson your parents ever taught you?
I think the perseverance came from my mother. She was so determined, and she was not, by the way, she was not literate even.
Okay.
Illiterate. But I remember, in a very childhood, that's where I basically got it from her, that she was very perseverant. She would not, no matter what is coming her way, never budge what she basically did.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
I think that's where I basically got that. My father was very more a mathematician type of person to do that. And for him, he loves people who understand math.
Okay. And he doesn't, and if you don't, what happens to you if you don't understand maths?
No, he doesn't want to hang out. He doesn't want to spend time with those people. And he forced me actually to read. I was telling you earlier, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
He watched me and he said, "You're not sleeping before 2 o'clock."
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. And one of the things that he said, he taught me mathematics. He said, if you see a question, you should know the answer first before you solve the problem.
Oh, okay.
So he said, and he proved it. He said, anytime you say calculus, anytime, he said, I clearly know the answer. I know how to get there.
Yes.
Right. So, and he taught me that. And anytime I see, he said, I want to develop intuition that you know the solution, and then you go work it out.
Yeah.
So you're not, climbing your steps to get to where you.
Yeah.
I think that's something that
wonderful. Amazing. You talked about food earlier, and you talked about fusion food. Do you have a favorite food though?
Favorite food. So one thing I like, seafood.
Ah, okay.
You feed me seafood every day, I'll be there.
You'll be a happy man.
I'll be happy, man.
Any kind of, or any kind of seafood, or
any kind of seafood, I'm really good at that. I love it. That's
brilliant.
Amazing.
Very
so
good.
If I take a special dish, I made few weeks ago. I made a shrimp risotto.
Oh, very nice. I love that.
Italian with this one, and oh my God, it's really
well, I'm certainly going to come to your house, and I'm a foodie, so I'm going to come to your house and try out your food one day.
Happy to do that. I can do all what I learned, and I'm happy to host you.
Wonderful. Do you have a favorite podcast? I know you don't have much time in your day, but is there
podcast? I listen. I don't think I have time for the
No.
podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who would you say is your biggest inspiration?
Biggest inspiration. Because I think one, and this might sound weird, people to hear, maybe to you. And it's not because the person I'm going to say is my relative.
Right. No, carry on. You don't have to. It doesn't matter.
My daughter.
Wonderful.
She is, I wish I could be like her.
Yeah.
And when she was born, my first baby, she was born, her name was Prerna, which means inspiration. I have no idea why we named her.
Yeah.
And she did that.
Uh-huh.
And the way she thinks, and I think she shaped my thinking to very extent later in my life.
Wonderful.
When she matured herself.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Big inspiration for me. Her thinking and where she's in her career, that quick and that fast.
Yep.
Is quite a bit to learn from her. I'm she's listening to her.
Wonderful.
And she'll be happy to know
yeah.
that.
Well, that's great. That's nice. We've talked about secret talents, but what's one kind of talent you wish you had?
A good musician.
Okay, fine. Thought as much. What's something is there something you still have from your childhood?
I think something from my childhood. So one thing, I talked about the whole music thing. I do listen to folk music from the place I came in. I still listen.
Yep.
And it basically brings me back to
your childhood. And where was that place? Tell me.
So that was place close to Varanasi.
Okay.
Banaras.
Okay. Yeah, Banaras. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful. What's a data trend that you would like to see disappear?
Disappear?
Yes.
Data trend. Oh my goodness, this is a want to disappear. I thought you were going to ask me what data trend I want to come and.
No, there's many at the moment, but what's one that is playing on your mind as a falsehood or something that is just a buzz?
That is a buzz. I would say the whole data lake stuff.
Yeah.
That's to me old 10-year-old technology.
Yep.
And it just does not serve the purpose, right? People think that, oh my God, I put the data into the data lake and I'm really advanced. No, you are not. You create a big jungle of data.
True. So true.
It's hard to move away from that.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that you still need a data lake. But you want to, before you put the data lake, you want to organize the structure in a certain way that it's not a jungle, it's a garden, right? You go and look for that and basically do that. I gave that analogy. So the whole data lake, and I'm seeing, Samir, there's a whole data fatigue going on.
There is.
Right?
Yeah.
And people are trying things and they're doing the same thing over and
over again.
And expecting different result, right?
Yes. Yeah, agreed.
It doesn't happen, right?
Yeah.
So literally, I think you want to bring up fresh thinking in data.
Yeah.
And there are ways to basically do it. But I think, end of the day, you want to influence the business, right? Is the business want to come with you, right?
Yep.
Their appetite for that kind of change.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm writing an article, what we call wartime data leader. So there's a wartime data leader and there's a peacetime data leader. Right. So when these two times are there, how you want to act in a different way.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So that definitely something. Data culture is definitely, you want to be, the old data culture got to go, right?
Yeah.
We want to get rid of that, right? So, when technology came in early 90s, people thought technology is the one. Business people thought that, technology is going to make things happen. That's it did at the time.
Yeah.
And someone else drive, that bus for me, right? That train, that the technology-driven train got to go. And who's letting that go is the business decision maker, the business decision maker specifically. To do, right?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
somehow it's not, it's there, it's a stop. They think that it's not my responsibility. Data is not my responsibility. I'm in the business of making, manufacturing, certain medicines and doing that. Data is someone else's responsibility, which is a bad thing, actually, if you think about it.
Yep, agreed.
So you want to take that culture out. You want to switch back to data is me, it's a business. I'll bring my people who will help me in that. But that's my baby. I want to take it.
Sure. Yeah, good points. What's something you don't want to be doing in 10 years' time?
I've been told that I cannot retire.
You cannot do what? Sorry?
I won't retire ever. I've been told my family members. So you're doing something. I would say I would give back to community. I'm already doing some community work quite a bit. One of the satisfaction I get, helping people. I'm already mentoring people within work, side work, right?
Yep.
If I'm retiring someday, hopefully, go back, and if AI ML hopefully is matured enough, and I'm in the field, I can go and make a difference to bring people in that space.
Yeah. And I don't know whether you watch movies that much, but if you do, is there a movie that made you laugh the hardest?
Laugh the hardest. So I like Eddie Murphy's movies.
Okay, yeah, brilliant. Who doesn't? Yeah, I think he's fantastic.
And so when we go as a family, so one of his movie is Are We There Yet?
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's funny like hell. Yeah. A kids movie. But as an adult,
look, you're thinking about it now. You're starting to laugh.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's unbelievably funny. There are other movies that you do, but
sure.
Are You There Yet? You want to be watching.
All right. Well, I'll watch that. I'll watch that. Listen, you talked about giving back, but if you could teach one subject in school, what would it be?
I would say AI ML, how it's changing. That's the future.
Okay.
It's not going anywhere. Down the line in 10 years, this is a huge impact.
Yeah.
We'll be doing different things the way we're doing today.
What are currently your top 3 data challenges?
Top 3 data challenges. So nobody knows who's supposed to do what in data space. So think about clear role responsibility.
Yep.
It's more like someone gave analogy. It's more like a soccer ball. And if you're playing a soccer ball, you want to win. You want to have a goalie. You want to have a front player. You want all those positions. In the data space, everybody's chasing the ball.
Yeah.
including the goalie. Right? It just doesn't work. Right? To do that. So I think having clear role and responsibility, it's a new area for majority of the company, right? What does the collaboration looks like?
Okay. Yeah.
Just what, right? What is the operating model looks like? That's a big challenge.
Yeah, it's a big challenge.
Right? Who is business, right?
Yeah.
Business is not one person, right?
No.
It's to do that. So what do we mean by that? So let's define that, right? So I would say that is the challenge. And on the very technical side, data is a jungle and a mess.
It's a mess. Yeah.
Desperate. You want to convert jungle from garden, right?
Yep.
So I think data is a big problem. And I always give the example. Today the challenge is that data is far away from the people, the user. So if I type to you data on a keyboard, I hit the submit button, it went somewhere, it went to data lake somewhere.
Yeah.
I can't find out where the heck is that. I cannot, unless somebody helped me out to get that. That's my data, right? So how do we bring the data back to me?
Yep.
Right, to do that. So I think that's another element I would say, is that how do we bring the data back
closer to the user? Yeah. Fantastic. how do you handle pressure in your career?
Oh my God, I'm very sensitive, right?
Yeah.
And I want to succeed. Failure is
Mhm.
not an option for me, though I have failed multiple times.
Yep.
I am. If something is on me, and it feels like I take everything on me. I said, ooh.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
advice I get that no, it's not you. And in fact, I wrote an article the other day. How do you deal with this struggle, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not you only, right? So
Yeah.
there are other people, right?
There's a multitude of factors. Yeah.
That's right. So I think I have learned. I used to be very serious. Something is not working my way. I'm stressed out.
Right.
Do that. Today, if you want to tell me, I can go and present to 1,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, fear. Oh my God, what people will think. I don't have that fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am going to say what I think is right. It may resonate with you. It may not resonate with you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's not basically holding for me. So I would say way to handle the stress is change in thinking. It's not me. Things happen. Give your best.
Yeah. And you can't control everything.
That's right. There are other important things in life.
Yeah.
And I would say that if you're stressing out, go and talk to the people who are stakeholders in that.
Mm-hmm.
That right. So I'm stressing out something. Hey, I need to present something tomorrow, and I'm not ready.
Mm-hmm.
Can I go and ask for help?
Sure.
Right. To do that. And take some, go fresh air.
Go for a walk. Yeah.
Go for a walk.
Yeah.
I got a Maggie dog. Anytime I'm taking things out to do that.
Yeah.
So I think
I like that.
Very
don't take things too serious and too much to heart. Is
That's
basically
right.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
What's something you notice about someone when you first meet them?
How authentic they are.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot tell you. I just cannot handle people who are not authentic.
Of course. Yeah.
I just cannot do that. So, and actually that's another peak point for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone is not authentic. I think next time probably I don't think I need.
And it's an instinctive value for you. You get to feel that immediately, right?
Big time.
I got it.
Very sensitive how authentic you are.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not authentic, then probably I can find somebody else. Now somebody can say, well, you have to deal with people.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say you got a business sponsor. Whether they're authentic or not, and doing that, are you going to work with that? Absolutely, I'm going to work with that. Right?
Yeah, sure.
So that's way to handle it. I'm not saying drop that person. If I could, I will. But if I don't, then I'll manage it.
Yeah, yeah. Right. There are two questions that you didn't answer, because before the final question, the first one I think you've sort of talked about, because you talked about causes or things that you'd like to give back, like mentoring. So perhaps that could be the answer for what's a cause that is important to you, or perhaps you've thought about that.
For example, I would go with that. No, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, and then you have, this is the one that I think you were thinking about more. If you could switch lives with one person for a day, who would it be?
Switch life. The live person today, you think?
Yeah, anybody, whoever, even if if they're not alive and you'd like to switch with them, or if they are alive and there's somebody who's out there and you're thinking, I'd like to really experience what they see in the world.
I think Vivekananda, I'd go back to him.
Okay.
Because my inspiration, right? Region inspiration is. So can I be that? Not even close anywhere in my 7th life even. And I have the right to do it. But a very ideal person.
Right. Okay. Now, my final question. What would you like to be remembered for?
What I would like to be remembered for? The people side of me that, I took my success in other people's success. And if I made someone, successful, that's the most satisfying part, for me. Last month, I'm mentoring 2 people, both of them got promoted. Wonderful. It is the best feeling on the planet you can get. Great. To do it. That's perfect, Vijay. Thank you so much for your authentic, heartily responses, and just giving me your time and
really getting to know you. It's been fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So great, knowing you, and I'm looking forward to working with you even more.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful day, and I will speak to you soon.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.